Welcome to our countdown of 10 true facts you won't believe. Get ready to have your mind blown as we dive into the strange, surprising, and downright unbelievable realities of our world.
Honey's unique ability to resist spoilage has earned it a place of reverence throughout history. Its remarkable longevity was first discovered through archaeological findings, most notably in ancient Egyptian tombs, where pots of honey, sealed and preserved for thousands of years, were found to still be edible. These finds not only highlight honey's practical value in ancient times, but also its cultural and ceremonial significance. In ancient Egypt, honey was a luxury item, used in religious offerings, embalming practices, and as a cherished food item for the afterlife. Its presence in tombs was a testament to its perceived importance, serving both as sustenance for the dead and as a symbol of purity and immortality. The science behind honey's durability is as fascinating as its history. Honey's low water content, around 17%, combined with its high concentration of natural sugars, creates an environment where microorganisms cannot thrive. Most bacteria and fungi require water to grow, but the hygroscopic nature of honey, which allows it to absorb moisture from the air, keeps itself preserved when stored properly. Adding to its antimicrobial properties is the enzyme glucose oxidase, introduced by bees during honey production. This enzyme produces small amounts of hydrogen peroxide, further protecting honey from spoilage. Its natural acidity, with a pH ranging from 3 to 4.5, also creates a hostile environment for bacteria. In addition to its chemical properties, proper storage conditions have historically played a role in honey's longevity. The pots of honey found in ancient tombs were sealed tightly, keeping them safe from contaminants and air exposure. This airtight environment, combined with honey's intrinsic properties, created a perfect recipe for preservation. However, if honey is exposed to moisture or improperly stored, it can ferment or crystallize over time. Though this does not necessarily render it unsafe to eat, it simply alters its texture or flavor. Honey's role as a preservative and medicinal agent is well documented across cultures. Beyond the Egyptians, civilizations such as the Greeks and Romans used honey for its antimicrobial properties, treating wounds and illnesses. In Ayurvedic medicine, honey has been valued for thousands of years as a therapeutic food. Its durability and versatility made it a staple in trade, often serving as a form of currency or tribute. Today, honey continues to captivate with its blend of natural science and historical lore. It is not merely a sweetener but a marvel of natural engineering, a food that transcends time. The enduring mystery and utility of honey remind us of its importance to ancient civilizations and its ongoing relevance in modern culinary and medicinal practices. It stands as a testament to nature's ability to create a product that is as functional as it is delicious.
The history of ketchup as a medicine is a fascinating tale of early marketing, pseudoscience, and the shifting perceptions of food. In the early 19th century, the modern ketchup we know, made primarily from tomatoes, vinegar, and spices, was not yet a widespread household condiment. Instead, it was viewed as an exotic product with potential health benefits. This shift began largely due to the work of Dr. John Cook Bennett, a physician and professor who became a vocal advocate for the medicinal properties of tomatoes. At a time when tomatoes were just starting to gain acceptance in the Western diet, his claims helped to revolutionize their image. Bennett argued that tomatoes, rich in nutrients like vitamins A and C, could provide various health benefits. He went further, suggesting that concentrated tomato-based products like ketchup could cure common ailments of the time, including diarrhea, indigestion and jaundice, as well as more chronic conditions like rheumatism. His bold claims captured the public's imagination, and soon ketchup was not just a food product, but a purported remedy. Manufacturers saw an opportunity and began producing tomato-based pills, syrups and extracts marketed as patent medicines. This period coincided with a broader trend in the 19th century, where many food items and plant-based products were marketed as health cures. Patent medicines, often unregulated, were popular in an era when modern medical practices were still developing. Ketchup pills became part of this phenomenon, appealing to those seeking accessible and affordable remedies for common health complaints. While Bennett's claims were never scientifically validated, his work inadvertently helped increase the popularity of tomatoes and encouraged their integration into the American diet. However, ketchup's stint as a cure-all was short-lived. By the late 1800s, the burgeoning fields of chemistry and medicine began to challenge and debunk the exaggerated claims of patent medicines. Ketchup in particular was scrutinized and ultimately reclassified as a food product rather than a pharmaceutical one. At the same time, improvements in food production and preservation helped evolve ketchup into the tangy, shelf-stable condiment we know today. Brands like Heinz emerged, focusing on flavor and mass appeal rather than medicinal benefits. Today, ketchup's brief history as a medicinal product is a quirky footnote in its journey from an Asian-inspired fish sauce, its distant ancestor, to a global culinary staple. It also serves as a reminder of how food trends can intersect with health fads, often driven more by marketing and cultural attitudes than by scientific evidence.
Pineapples, one of the most beloved tropical fruits, have a surprisingly lengthy growth cycle that requires patience and care. It takes approximately 2 years for a pineapple to grow from a planting to a ripe, harvestable fruit. This extended timeline is a result of the plant's unique growth process and the specific conditions it requires to thrive. Pineapple plants begin as small offshoots, known as suckers or slips, which are either cultivated from the crown of a harvested fruit or propagated from other parts of the plant. Once planted, the pineapple plant goes through an initial growth phase of around 12 to 18 months, during which it develops its spiky, robust leaves. These leaves form a dense rosette-shaped structure that serves as the base of the plant. During this time, the plant absorbs nutrients and energy to prepare for fruit production. After this vegetative growth phase, the pineapple plant enters its reproductive stage, signaled by the emergence of a central flower stalk. This flowering process can take several months, during which the plant produces small purple or red flowers arranged in a tight spiral pattern. Each flower eventually develops into a berry-like fruit, and together, these individual fruits fuse to form the recognizable structure of a pineapple. Even after the fruit appears, it takes several additional months to mature fully. During this period, the pineapple changes color, grows larger, and accumulates the sugars that give it its sweet, tangy flavor. The exact timeline can vary depending on factors like climate, soil quality, and cultivation techniques. Pineapples thrive in tropical and subtropical regions with consistent warmth and sunlight, which are crucial for healthy growth and ripening. The lengthy growth cycle of pineapples makes them a relatively resource-intensive crop compared to faster-growing fruits. This is one reason why pineapples were historically considered a luxury item, symbolizing wealth and hospitality. Today, advances in agriculture have made pineapples more accessible, but their long cultivation time remains a challenge for farmers. Despite the time investment, the 2-year growth process ensures that pineapples develop their characteristic sweetness and juiciness, making them a worthwhile endeavor for growers and a favorite for consumers worldwide. Their slow maturation also highlights the intricate balance of natural processes that go into producing the food we enjoy.
Peanuts, the legume misunderstood as a nut. Peanuts, despite their name and common association with other nuts like almonds and walnuts, are not true nuts. Botanically, peanuts belong to the legume family, which includes beans, lentils, and chickpeas. This classification stems from their growth habits and the structure of their seeds, which differ significantly from those of tree nuts. Legumes are plants that produce seeds or pods, and peanuts fit this description perfectly. The peanut plant Arachis hypogea is unique in its growth cycle. After its yellow flowers are pollinated, they form a structure called a peg, which bends downward and burrows into the soil. It is beneath the ground that the peanut pods develop, housing the seeds we consume as peanuts. This underground development is a hallmark of legumes and sets peanuts apart from nuts, which typically grow on trees. Nutritionally, peanuts are similar to tree nuts in many ways. They are rich in protein, healthy fats, fiber, vitamins, and minerals, making them a popular and nutritious food. However, their legume status is particularly significant for those with allergies, as peanut allergies are distinct from tree nut allergies. Some people allergic to tree nuts may tolerate peanuts and vice versa, although cross-reactivity is possible. Peanuts also play an important role in agriculture and sustainability. As legumes, they have the ability to fix nitrogen in the soil through a symbiotic relationship with nitrogen-fixing bacteria in their root nodules. This process enriches the soil, reducing the need for synthetic fertilizers and benefiting crop rotation systems. The confusion between peanuts and true nuts likely arises from their culinary use. Peanuts are often grouped with tree nuts in recipes and snacks because of their similar taste, texture, and versatility. From peanut butter to roasted peanuts, they have become a staple in diets worldwide, blurring the lines between botanical and culinary definitions. Understanding that peanuts are legumes rather than nuts offers insight into their unique biology and their broader significance in ecosystems and food systems. While they might not technically be nuts, peanuts remain a treasured and essential food source for cultures around the globe.
Apple seeds contain a compound known as amygdalin, a type of cyanogenic glycoside. When chewed or digested, amygdalin can break down into hydrogen cyanide, a toxic substance. While this fact might sound alarming, the amount of cyanide produced from consuming apple seeds is typically very small, and it would take a substantial quantity to pose any real health risk. Specifically, estimates suggest that consuming the seeds of around 18 to 20 apples, or over 200 seeds in total, could reach a dangerous level of cyanide for the average adult. The reason apple seeds contain amygdalin is likely a natural defense mechanism to deter herbivores from eating the seeds, which are vital for the plant's reproduction. This protective strategy is not unique to apples. Many plants in the rose family, including cherries, peaches, and almonds, also contain cyanogenic compounds in their seeds or pits. In practice, accidental ingestion of a few apple seeds is harmless, as the human body can process small amounts of cyanide efficiently. Furthermore, the seed's hard outer coating often prevents them from being digested unless they are thoroughly chewed. If swallowed whole, the seeds typically pass through the digestive system intact without releasing cyanide. Despite their potential toxicity in large amounts, apple seeds pose minimal risk in everyday consumption. To reach a lethal dose of cyanide, one would need to eat an unrealistic number of apple seeds in a short period. For most people, enjoying apples as part of a healthy diet poses no danger, provided the seeds are not intentionally consumed in large quantities. The cyanide in apple seeds is a reminder of nature's chemical complexity. While many plants produce compounds that can be toxic in large doses, they are generally harmless or even beneficial when consumed in moderation. This balance between risk and safety underscores the importance of understanding and respecting the natural compounds in the foods we eat.
The 100-year-old egg, also known as a century egg, preserved egg, or millennium egg, is a traditional Chinese delicacy that has a misleading name. Despite its evocative moniker, the egg is not aged for 100 years, but rather preserved for a period ranging from a few weeks to a few months. The process transforms the egg in texture, flavor, and appearance, creating a unique culinary experience. Century eggs are typically made using duck, chicken, or quail eggs, which are preserved through a chemical process. The traditional method involves coating the eggs in a mixture of clay, ash, salt, quicklime, and rice hulls, then allowing them to cure over time. Modern techniques often substitute alkaline substances like sodium carbonate and calcium hydroxide to expedite the process and achieve consistent results. During preservation, the pH of the egg rises dramatically, creating an alkaline environment that triggers significant chemical changes in the egg's proteins and fats. As a result of this process, the egg white becomes a translucent amber-colored gel with a firm jelly-like consistency. The yolk turns dark green or grey and develops a creamy texture with a rich umami flavor. The taste is often described as savory, with hints of salt and sulfur, while the aroma can be strong and pungent, which may take some getting used to for the uninitiated. The century eggs are enjoyed in various ways across East and Southeast Asia. They can be eaten on their own, paired with pickled ginger, or used as an ingredient in dishes like congee salads or tofu-based appetizers. In Chinese cuisine, they are celebrated for their bold flavor and are considered a delicacy with cultural significance. The myth that century eggs are aged for a century likely arose from their striking transformation and the intense flavors that suggest long aging. However, the preservation process's efficiency means that it takes only a few weeks to months to achieve the desired effects. This culinary tradition showcases the ingenuity of food preservation techniques and the diverse ways humans have enhanced and extended the shelf life of natural ingredients. Century eggs continue to be a beloved and iconic food in many cultures, embodying the creativity and resourcefulness of traditional food practices. For those unfamiliar with the delicacy, trying a century egg can be an adventurous and rewarding culinary experience.
The statement Coca-Cola would be green if food coloring wasn't added is often circulated as a fun fact, but it is somewhat misleading. Coca-Cola's natural color without added caramel coloring isn't exactly green, but rather a light and murky hue that might appear greenish-brown. This natural coloration comes from the mix of its original ingredients, including the coca leaf extract, now replaced with a decoconized version, and cola nuts, which both have their own distinct colors. To achieve the iconic dark brown shade associated with Coca-Cola, manufacturers add caramel coloring, specifically a type known as Class 4 caramel coloring. This ingredient not only enhances the drink's visual appeal, but also aligns with consumers' expectations for the product. The consistent dark color has become a signature element of the brand and contributes to its globally recognized identity. Historically, the original Coca-Cola recipe, developed in the late 19th century by Dr. John Stiff Pemberton, did not include artificial food coloring as we understand it today. However, as the drink evolved into a commercial product, standardizing its appearance became crucial for branding purposes. The addition of caramel coloring ensures the beverage looks the same whether it's bottled in Atlanta, Tokyo, or Cairo. While the green Coca-Cola claim isn't entirely accurate, it does underscore the importance of color in the marketing and presentation of food and beverages. It also serves as a reminder of the meticulous processes involved in creating a product that millions consume daily.
Nutmeg, a common spice derived from the seed of the Myristica fragrance tree, has a lesser-known property. It can produce hallucinogenic effects if consumed in very large doses. This is due to the presence of myristicin, a naturally occurring compound found in nutmeg's essential oil. Myristicin is a psychoactive substance that, when ingested in high amounts, can affect the central nervous system, leading to altered perception, euphoria, and in some cases hallucinations. The hallucinogenic effects of nutmeg are not immediate. After consuming a large quantity, symptoms typically take several hours to manifest and can last for up to 24 to 48 hours. In addition to hallucinations, individuals may experience nausea, vomiting, dizziness, dry mouth, heart palpitations, and severe discomfort. The psychoactive experience is often described as unpleasant rather than enjoyable, making nutmeg an unlikely candidate for recreational use. The amount of nutmeg required to induce these effects varies depending on the individual's body weight and sensitivity, but it generally involves consuming several teaspoons of the spice. This is significantly more than the amounts typically used in cooking or baking, where nutmeg is added in small quantities for its warm, spicy flavor. Historically, nutmeg has been used in traditional medicine and folklore for its purported aphrodisiac and sedative properties. However, its psychoactive potential has also been known for centuries. In some cases, it has been used as a last resort intoxicant, particularly in prison settings or among individuals lacking access to conventional drugs. Despite this, nutmeg's effects are unpredictable and its toxicity makes it a risky choice. Excessive nutmeg consumption can be dangerous. High doses can cause nutmeg poisoning, characterized by symptoms such as confusion, agitation, and even seizures. In extreme cases, it can lead to organ failure or death. As a result, while nutmeg remains a safe and flavorful addition to food in small amounts, it is not recommended to consume it in large quantities for any purpose.
McDonald's once experimented with creating bubblegum-flavored broccoli as part of its efforts to develop healthier menu options for children. This unusual concept was devised in the early 2010s, during a period when the company faced criticism for contributing to childhood obesity and sought to improve its nutritional offerings. The idea was to make vegetables more appealing to children by incorporating flavors they already enjoyed, like bubblegum. The creation was part of a broader initiative to innovate and make healthy eating more accessible and enjoyable. However, the experiment backfired. While the bubblegum-flavored broccoli successfully intrigued some children, it left most confused and unimpressed. During focus group testing, children found the flavor combination strange and unappetizing. Instead of encouraging kids to eat their vegetables, it created a sense of bewilderment, as broccoli's natural texture and bubblegum's sweet artificial flavor didn't complement each other. The failure of bubblegum-flavored broccoli highlighted the challenges of altering children's eating habits through unconventional methods. It underscored that taste alone isn't enough to shift preferences. Factors such as texture, appearance, and familiarity also play critical roles. Additionally, parents and health advocates criticized the attempt, arguing that disguising vegetables with artificial flavors undermined the goal of teaching children to enjoy natural, healthy foods. After the idea flopped, McDonald's shifted its focus to more practical strategies for improving its menu, such as offering apple slices, yogurt, and milk in Happy Meals. The bubblegum broccoli experiment remains a quirky footnote in the company's history, illustrating the complexities of blending nutrition with consumer appeal, especially when catering to children.
Lobsters, now considered a luxury delicacy, were once regarded as food for the poor and marginalized. In colonial America and the 19th century, lobsters were so abundant along the northeastern coast of the United States that they were used as a cheap source of sustenance for prisoners, indentured servants, and the impoverished. The crustaceans were so plentiful that they would wash up on shores in large quantities, often piled several feet high after storms. At the time, lobsters were seen as unrefined and undesirable. They were nicknamed the cockroach of the sea due to their scavenger-like behavior. People even considered it shameful to eat lobster regularly, and there were reports of servants rebelling against being forced to consume it too often. In some areas, laws were passed to limit the number of times prisoners or servants could be fed lobster, typically to no more than a few times per week. The perception of lobster began to shift in the late 19th century with the development of transportation technologies, such as railroads, which allowed fresh lobster to be shipped to inland cities where it was marketed as an exotic delicacy. Additionally, the rise of fine dining establishments and the influence of chefs helped reframe lobster as a gourmet food. Tourists visiting coastal areas were also introduced to lobster as a luxurious treat, further boosting its appeal. By the mid-20th century, lobster had transitioned from being a low-cost, readily available food to a highly sought-after and expensive dish. This transformation was driven by changing societal attitudes, improved cooking techniques, and the increasing rarity of wild-caught lobsters due to overfishing and environmental changes. Today, lobster is a symbol of indulgence, often associated with celebrations and upscale dining. Its journey from a poor man's protein to a luxury item is a fascinating example of how food perceptions can evolve based on cultural, economic, and environmental factors.
Thank you for watching. We hope these mind-blowing facts left you amazed and inspired. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell because there's plenty more where that came from. Stay curious, and we'll see you in the next one.